Fine. Yes, this is r/British Problems Part 3. Seeing as I've run out of ideas for other things, I thought, why not? Let's do Part 3. You know when I said I would never do Part 2s or Part 3? I lied. I lied about that. But to complete the trilogy, as I've just made up, then, yeah, why not? Let's do it again. If you are unaware, r/British Problems is a collection of British problems. It's kind of in the title, it's in the name, it's in the description. Anyway, let's crack on and look at a few, shall we? Ridiculously loud talking people on the train or tram. Why are you even on it? Surely you can just sit at home with a window open, bellowing out tales of your incredibly boring adventures. And whoever is supposed to receive said information will no doubt hear it from wherever they are. This is very true. When you go on a train in Britain, you're supposed to be quiet and nice, and you're supposed to put your headphones in and listen to your things quietly so no one can hear you. Death metal or screamo or Skrillex or whatever it is. Or your phone conversations, or how much your merger is going to take, or how well you performed coital activities with that lady last night. Nobody's bothered about it, and nobody cares at all. So please stop talking about them. Some lads drove past me twice while I was waiting for the bus last night, and both times the passenger shouted, "Bus stop wanker!" at me. I've lost sleep over this. I'll never be able to correct him. For those who are wondering, the phrase is bus wanker. It's part of the In-Betweeners, and you can watch that episode and get whatever you want. But whenever someone shouts something like bus stop wanker at you, you do kind of think, no, actually, hang on a minute, it's not bus stop wanker, it's bus wanker. I get the same thing. It's like, I want to correct people, but at the same time, I also don't. But this person is obviously one of the people who does. Oh well. Moving on. Somebody sat next to me on the bus today and actually spoke to me. I not only replied to the chap, but we had a conversation, now left questioning my Britishness. Why did you reciprocate? He could have been a murderer, he could have been an evil man, he could have been anything. You never know, you don't engage with these people. He might have asked you to, I don't know, smuggle 18 tons of cocaine across to France. I was about to say, I don't know why they'd need 18 tons of cocaine, but anyway, this devolved. People using wet coffee-covered spoons in the sugar jar at work should be punishable by death. You're quite right. It pisses me off. It's like, the sugar jar is a sacred space. It should be all clean and pristine and full of just sugar. Don't stick your disgusting coffee or tea covered crap in there and then go, oh, this is fine. Oh, it's okay. I'll just wash it off in my cup of coffee and then shove it back on the side for someone else to clean up. It pisses me off. Clean the spoon, or just get a new spoon and then use that. Don't just shove an espresso-covered piece of steel into the sugar jar. You dick. Stop it, Andrew. People who think their conversation with their friends is important enough to push people to walking on the road. No, you aren't having a conversation that important. You're not talking about the nuclear code. You're not talking about anything beyond... again, I always go back to how well you had coital stuff with that lady in the evening last night, or the 2 nights before, or 6 months ago, whatever it was. It's not important. So just single file. If two people are walking towards 2 other people or 1 other person, you go single file. Because our paths, our sidewalks, as you Yankees call it, are quite small, and sometimes they're not even wide enough to fit 1 human being on them. So be courteous, please. Pretty please. Please. Repeatedly getting calls from Vicky at made-up claims because she's been informed of that car accident you had that wasn't your fault, despite the fact that you don't even drive. No, I tell you what's better is it's more fun to screw with them and keep them on the lines. Like, yeah, no, I did have that accident the other day. I was absolutely off my face. I was driving back from the pub at 3 o'clock in the morning, and this pedestrian just came out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to tell their family or if they've even found him yet. And just do that, because it's a grand amount of fun, honest to God. Big brains in government have come up with a plan to tackle knife crime. Messages on chicken shop boxes. I expect we shall soon be enjoying a knife-free utopia. You're quite right. For some reason, for those of you who don't know, they've decided, yes, I know the best way to tackle knife crime. Let's put messages on boxes which contain fried chicken. So they're like, I know what people who commit knife crime eat. They eat fried chicken, so let's put that on the bottom of their box. Like they're going to care. They'll probably just stab it. Out of habit, Train was delayed, so I sat using my phone. Then got on the train and spent the journey mindlessly using my phone. After hours of boredom, finally made it home. Now sat mindlessly using my phone. I don't know if this is a British problem so much, but it's any kind of place where you have phones. You walk around the streets nowadays. If your phone's out of battery or you manage to get away from it for a bit, you will see that quite literally every human being is on their phone. And it's now become so socially awkward to not be looking at your phone. If you're not looking at your phone, people look at you funny when they, look up from their phone. So you kind of stare at your phone even if you've got nothing to do. I've got no Instagram messages, no Facebook things, no Twitter, no YouTube comments. But I've got to keep staring at this thing, otherwise people will think that I'm weird. It's odd. It's like the modern version of a newspaper. I expect back in the 1800s, when people used to read newspapers, that they'd run out of newspaper and start again just to not be do a social faux pas. Standing in the queue and the person behind you is so close you can feel their breath, so you take half-inch step forward, so they then take a 3-inch step forward. They do. Who are these people? It's like, there's in queuing, you generally, you stand about a foot or a little bit more than a foot behind the person in front. You don't stand 16 millimeters away from their throat and with your face in their hair going, and you look behind and it's some dishevelled kind of person who lives by themselves and they haven't washed their clothes in 16 years and they haven't washed their hair in at least a couple of weeks, but maybe that was their annual shower and you don't know. And they've never put deodorant on in their life. They don't even know what it looks like. They just spray it they'd probably spray it into their mouths and huff it into their lungs. But it's like, just step backwards. The shop is about 100 metres long. You've got a good 20 feet between you and the nearest aisle. Move back a bit. Use that space. Use the place that you've been given to stand, and don't stand directly behind my bottom. And yes, that word does sound weird. I'm sorry. Hitchhikers waiting on the on-ramp to the motorway. I'd love to help, but I'm flooring it up to 70 miles per hour plus. We can't stop there. Yeah, I don't get this. Sometimes you see people walking along with their thumb out on a motorway. I'm like, A, you shouldn't be here, and B, what do you expect me to do? Pull over onto the hard shoulder, let you, the nutter who's walking along a motorway, into my car, and then drive off? That ain't happening. Has anybody in the history of anything ever picked up a motorway hitchhiker? Because I can't fathom, I can't understand a situation where that would be normal or acceptable to do by a rational human being. Get off the motorway. If you're on an A road, I'll probably pick you up. Or a B road or something, where you're in a lay-by or something like that. That's fine. But not a motorway. Are you insane? And I think we'll end it on this one because this cuts to the core of who I am as a human being. Spending 30 minutes in the post office queue at lunchtime to find out that I needed to pay for the envelope in a different part of the shop before buying the postage. Can I not just pay for that here? No. Can I rejoin the queue at the front, please? Sorry, no. What? This is why people use UPS or FedEx or DPD or something else. Because you go to the post office and there are 87,000 queues, all for a different thing. Oh no, you want first class stamps? Well, you got to go to that queue. Oh, so do you want special postage? Well, you got to go to that queue. Do you want it signed for? Well, you got to go to that queue. Piss off and just give me one person who can do everything. We've got computers. Amazon exists. Okay, if Amazon can work as a business model, then technology has improved enough so that you can give me a letter and then give me some postage. You fucking... Anyway, sorry. I got a little bit angry there, didn't I? And that will do it for r/British Problems Part 3. I'm not doing another one. Okay, I'm just not. Because I'm just not. Okay. If you enjoyed the video, do smash the absolute silliness out of the like, subscribe and share and whatever other array bell buttons exist. I think what you can do this time is you can grab yourself a glass smash it on a wall, and then threaten the like and subscribe buttons with it until they press themselves. Do follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and that's about it. Links in the description below for those. Check out Noom and Nana podcast and other different videos. If this is your first r/British Problems video, I have more and other things that aren't British. Check those out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching again, and bye for now.